game, that 5-point home win over UCF Saturday. It might feel like a miniature version of the Roundhouse in here. There are yellow and black fans everywhere you look. Jamie Echenique wins the tip for Wichita State. And the freshman point guard, Jamarius Burton, gets us underway in the fourth of our quadruple header on this Friday. And Dexter Dennis, the freshman, throws it away. It's an unforced error and a turnover for Wichita State. Starting lineups brought to you by Air Force Reserve. The Temple Owls with a big three. Shiz Alston, Nate Pierre-Louis, Quentin Rose. Three of the top 16 scorers in the league. All three in the top 6 in minutes played. J.P. Mormon and the senior Ernest Aflakpui are the forwards.
Well, there's Shiz Alston, number 10 in white for Temple. He's the guy to keep your eye on.
Hard to keep it off.
Because of that.
Wichita State starts two freshmen, Burton and Dexter Dennis. Marcus McDuffie is second team all-conference player. The other senior is Samaje Haynes-Jones with a junior college transfer, Echenique in the middle. Haynes-Jones, second leading scorer on this team. The hitter of many big shots.
Well, the senior hit 2, and the freshman Dexter Dennis knocked down the 3-ball to beat Tulane on the road last week.
Boy, what a sloppy start for the Shockers. A turnover and a shot clock violation. Good news for Fran Dunphy. 30th year head coach between Penn and Temple. At the end of this season, he is stepping aside. Aaron McKee, the associate head coach, will take over at Temple. Will this be Fran Dunphy's final game at Temple before postseason play? He would not like it to be. The Owls win. They go to 24-8. It's another road neutral game. That's probably the biggest plus in Temple's tournament resume, but only 2 quadrant 1 wins. This is a game that they need to have to feel a little more comfortable, and they've got a 4-0 lead courtesy of Ernest Aflakpui.
But Temple has wins. The first win against a Houston team that's only lost 2. They knocked off UCF as well, and they've got 8 true road wins. 8-5 on the road. That is a resume gold star for Temple.
Alston. Rebound knocked away from Haynes-Jones. Aflakpui on the floor. He's called for travel. The Temple bench arguing he didn't have possession. Not so sure he did. Greg Marshall will take it. 12th year head coach at Wichita State. The winningest coach at Wichita State. Greg Marshall coached teams have made 9 consecutive conference tournament semis, including last year, their first year in the American, when in this very slot, as the 2 seed, they beat 7th seeded Temple to get to the American semis. Echenique from Burton left it short. Rebound by Aflakpui. Quentin Rose.
It's going to be interesting to see how they defend Shiz Alston. Right now, Samaje Haynes-Jones has been matched up with him, but look for Wichita State to switch off at times with bigger, more athletic defenders on Alston. I think we'll get a lot of different looks.
Pierre-Louis, the left-handed player, will take it with the right, and Aflakpui has an early 4. Tell you what, it's going to be a much bigger challenge with Aflakpui in the game than anyone East Carolina had down low, where Wichita State feasted last night.
Yeah, Ernest Aflakpui is a tremendous post defender, and when he catches and makes simple plays, it is a big plus for Temple, and he's learned to do that this year. Number 24 in white for Temple. Keep an eye on him.
McDuffie unlocks the Shocker, scoring with the 3, nearly 3 minutes in.
And that's a leader. Little mini scoring drought to open the game. Didn't get a lot of touches on the first couple of possessions. Took over on that possession.
Rose, second team all-conference. Up to Alston, the first team all-conference player, hooked by Haynes-Jones. Jose Carrion has the foul call. One of our officials, along with Zelton Steed and Gerald Williams. What impressed you about Wichita State in their blowout last night?
You know, it's more about what's impressed me over the last 12 games and the progression defensively and offensively and how they've established their roles. This might be the best coaching job that Greg Marshall has done. And I'm talking about the National Coach of the Year in 2014. How he has brought this young roster, how he lost so much scoring from a year ago, and this team now is hitting on all cylinders.
Echenique from McDuffie. 5 in a row for Wichita State. Returned 4 total starts. Not starters. No, 4 total starts. McDuffie had them all. Alston with a pull-up 2. Shiz Alston with a couple of buckets early for Temple.
Boy, it just seems like you can't guard him. I mean, he kind of has Wichita State's number. He hit that big shot in the roundhouse to send that thing into regulation. Then hit a couple big shots in overtime. And Marcus McDuffie coming out senior versus senior tonight so far.
McDuffie, a second-team all-conference player, but he has not shot it well as of late. 31.6% in the last 8. He's got 2 threes already. Here, Louis looking for contact, and Aflakpui has an early 6.
Ernest Aflakpui, one of those blue-collar guys who's learned how to finish. What an offensive resource he has been, especially early in this game. You don't run offense for him. He has to manufacture offense on his own.
Already surpassed his scoring average. Aflakpui has all 5 of Temple's rebounds. Rose will get that one off the deflected shot. This is J.P. Mormon, the sophomore. Mormon throwing it up for Aflakpui, I think. Temple has it back 15 to shoot. Rose into Dennis. That is a tough finish for 6'8" Quentin Rose, but it's a little easier when you are 6'8".
But because of the spacing for Temple and J.P. Mormon, who can bang a 3-ball, Quentin Rose had that entire right side to work with.
Echenike finishes on the other end. 2 baskets for him. We had a great pace in the first game, partner, between Cincinnati and SMU, and we are right there already. We haven't hit the under 16 yet. Mormon denied by Echenike, but a foul. Might have been McDuffie with the body. What's that? Don't listen to me. J.P. Mormon's at the line for Temple. Mormon, a sophomore. 20 of 28 from the free throw line this year. He is one of those versatile, do-everything guys. Not quite the same as Jimmy Whitt because he's not a point guard, but he can score, he can pass, he can rebound. Doesn't get the publicity of the 3 starting guards, but he's made a big difference since being put into the starting lineup. Dexter Dennis backdoor, look out.
Yeah, Greg Marshall is one of the best at drawing up plays to give his team confidence coming out of timeouts. And right there, he just used the Temple defense and exposed it with the backdoor lob to Dexter Dennis.
And 2 early assists for the freshman Burton, who's taking control of this team over the last month plus. Alston with Ames Jones all over him. Shiz got the bump, got it on the rim. Rebound of Aflakpui, his first miss. He's got 6 and 6 already, but Wichita State has the ball.
Where Aflakpui has been the energy guy for Temple opening up this game today.
Dexter Dennis trying to drop it down to Midgard, and that's a travel. This was the design play out of the timeout.
Yeah, Greg Marshall does a really good job of attacking out of timeouts. The one guy that I always thought did a great job of this was Brad Stevens when he was at Butler, now obviously with the Boston Celtics. I think Greg Marshall is in the same class. Coming out of timeouts, drawing up plays, isolation type situations to leverage his talent at critical times.
498 wins in his career between Wichita State and Winthrop.
You know, another guy that does a great job in this league of that is Kelvin Sampson. And I've seen the difference in him. I coached with him before he went to the NBA. And now that he's been to the NBA, man, they run some great stuff coming out of timeouts.
Back-to-back American Coach of the Year. Quite likely the National Coach of the Year, Kelvin Sampson.
Hands down, he's my pick, period.
Early 6 points for Alston.
If you can win at Montana Tech, you can win anywhere. And Kelvin has.
Is that where you were with Kelvin?
I was at Rocky Mountain College, the head coach. We were both 25 years old. He was head coach at Montana Tech back in the early 1980s. Same league.
The Duke Carolina of the NAIA.
That's exactly right.
Midgard with a finish. There's Asbjørn Midgard, who was terrific yesterday. Off the bench, 10.7 rebounds in just 13 minutes. It's basically become, announcer, Wichita State announcer bingo at this point to say Asbjørn Midgard has provided a big lift to this team. But it's true. He just keeps getting better, although Aflakpui finished over him there.
Well, he sets such good screens. And he's always in the way. There's a screening. He catches a part of Shiz Alston. which gives the offensive player leverage to get to the rim. She's going to send another screen.
Burton will use it, and Burton will go into Aflakpui and draw Ernest Aflakpui's first foul, and Temple's first foul, in fact.
Temple foul number 24, Ernest Aflakpui.
Justin Hamilton and Devondre Perry replace Aflakpui and Mormon for substitutions for Fran Dunphy.
Kevin, watch watch Asbjorn Midtgaard. He's constantly setting screens, and even when he doesn't get physical contact, he's so wide they've got to go like around him in order to get there.
Eric Stevenson, the freshman off the bench with a deep one.
Stevenson's playing a different level confidence-wise offensively. He forced a lot early in the season, tried too hard, tried to make too many big plays. He's letting the game come to him now.
Freshman out of Lacey, Washington. That was dribbled off of Perry's foot. Good start, Wichita State and Temple.
Need a golden nugget in your pocket. And for Temple, it's the fact that they've played 13 true road games, which is a lot for a team in the American or a team in a big budget situation. And they've gone 8-5. The only other team that's had 13 road games and gone 8-5 of that class of team is Wisconsin. It's pretty good company.
Midtgaard with a miss. Temple tonight is playing in his 17th road or neutral game, most of any team in the conference. 10-6 between the road and neutral site games. And we don't exactly know how the teams are going to be evaluated this year. Dennis misses a three, rebounded by Hamilton, because this is the first year of the net, replacing the RPI. We don't know if the committee is just going to sub in net for RPI in its discussions. You saw the BPI 66. That's not great. The net of 51 is firmly in the middle of the other bubble teams. We just don't know, so I like the way you described it. This is very much an insurance policy win for Temple, and it may well end up being the difference between in or out.
And we know one thing, because of the improvement of Wichita State, this would also be a quality win for Temple if they can withstand this much improved Wichita State Shocker basketball team.
Dennis fighting hard off his own miss. We'll go to Temple after Alston hit a three on the last hour.
Take on Temple. This is no gift for Temple. It's a really good Wichita State team that continues to get better every night out, it seems.
All right, so Wichita State, though, some confusion there. By the way, for folks who are just joining us, the substitution horn is not working. The shot clock horn, the end of game horn work. The substitution horn is not working, so you'll be hearing an air horn. We're going high school football throwback for you on substitutions. And that has led to some confusion today in terms of substitutions, table reviews, those sorts of things.
Now, keep your eye on Quentin Rose now. He just got a layup. Whenever he gets a layup, then watch out for his offensive game to start blossoming on the floor. Like how I worked in the blossom, the Rose thing.
Very good.
Yeah. I thought that up last night.
Just a 28% three-point shooter, though, so you could say that every Rose has its charm. You don't want to say that?
I think you're just supporting me along the way, and Quentin Rose, he's supporting his team. And when he does this, and he starts getting layups, then he kind of gets that offensive mojo working in a real positive way. He plays different when he gets an easy shot. He settled for a jump shot on his first shot. That time, he took it to the rim. Look at his last 3 games, averaging 20 points a game, shooting 49%. In the last 3 games, he has played really, really well.
And is a great defender on the ball with those long arms. Over 2 steals a game, 3rd in the conference, top 30 in the nation.
I think he's an NBA-level defender right now. I think he can guard multiple positions in the NBA.
Is it as simple as improving his shot, how he gets to the NBA?
Yeah, he's got some work to do. No question about that. Physically, he's not as strong as he needs to be. He's got that elite first step, which we saw right there. Good play by the official.
Nice job by Jose Carrion.
It looked like his feet were ready to shoot it, too.
Foul against Stevenson.
This is really good footwork by the official. Look at that. I mean, he was ready to step into a 3 right there, except he had to make a call. I'd like to see him shoot it.
That's Jose
He was
Carrillo, part of our crew.
He was wide open.
I mean, is that a drop, or is he intentionally letting that go?
No, he's intentionally letting. He had to do his job.
You
so
sure?
We won't give him a turnover.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
All right.
I'm positive.
Well, carry on, Jose. Moore misses the three. That's Alani Moore off the bench. Another offensive rebound for Temple and Justin Hamilton. Temple cleaning up on the offensive glass right now. That's their 7th offensive rebound. Janike called for the foul, his 2nd. And Midgard will return.
Well, Ernest Aflakpui started off with multiple offensive rebounds. Now Devondre Perry, a guy, get his paws on it. Hamilton, that's why he's in there to go get the basketball.
One of the big differences between the first time these teams met right at the start of conference play and now, Hamilton played just 1 minute in that game. He has become a crucial part of Temple's team. He feeds Moore, who misses a three.
Or Midgard wasn't playing a whole lot back then either.
McDuffie to Burton. Burton takes it into Alston over his near high school teammate Hamilton. Burton tries to finish. Burton and Hamilton were at the same school, Independence High School. Burton tore his ACL, so they didn't play together. And now Burton draws a foul.
Jamarius Burton is one of those rare freshmen at 6'4", 208 pounds. One of the things, he has size, but he also has a really good body that's ready for the collegiate game. A lot of freshman point guards, they get bumped off the ball. But he's really made the transition well. He's strong with the basketball. Like good upper body strength and good lower body strength.
Burton with the ball now. Greg Marshall refers to him as a bully guard.
Yep. But he's learned some finesse along the way. That's why he's playing.
Offensive rebound for Midgard, and that's a travel. That one might hurt, too.
Yeah, he turned his left ankle a little bit. And that's 200. When I worked for Kelvin Sampson, I was very defensive focused. And so that was my job. You know, I watched defense very, very closely. Every practice, every game.
Were you ever the clock guy?
I was never the clock guy. Nobody could trust me with that job. You know me well enough now.
I do.
There's no way I'm doing the clock thing. It'd be a disaster.
Well, 1 second left the clock on what was a miniature disaster of a possession for Temple, which threw it right out of bounds. Third Temple turnover. Wichita State has 4. Got back to 8:06. So we didn't lose a second after all. Sort of felt like we were in daylight saving time there. Haynes-Jones for 3.
That was a tough shot.
How do you defend that?
Well, obviously, Alani Moore couldn't defend it. It was a pretty good step back. That was well done. Not horrible defense, just really good offense by Samaje Haynes-Jones. That's tough, too.
Alston answers. He has 1,568 points in the Temple career of Shiz Alston Jr.
You asked a great question of how do you defend it? Stopping from catching it. And that's what Alani Moore, the second, doing right now with Samaje Haynes-Jones. He's not going to let him catch it.
McDuffie around Perry. Foul. Offensive foul called on the ward-off against McDuffie. First foul against Marcus McDuffie, the Shockers' leading scorer.
Jones, and of course McDuffie, with his big numbers throughout the year, has been consistent, but as you mentioned, not shooting it as well coming down the stretch. But who has shot it well? Dexter Dennis. Shot it really well.
What do we got here? Shot clock didn't start.
Yep. Johnny, there's gremlins.
Well, we have an air horn, so pretty soon we're just going to have some unlucky dad on a handheld stopwatch yelling out time. Maybe we can get the numbers to flip on the scoreboard, too. There goes the shot
started. It's a little bit delayed, though, to be honest with you.
It did seem that way.
So it's about a second delay. Now, that doesn't matter now. It matters a whole lot later on.
Rose got the rim anyway. Burton rose from behind, tried to take it away. Burton hangs on, the true freshman out of Charlotte. 2 assists already for Burton. McDuffie and Echenike with 6 to lead the Shockers, who have not led in this first half.
Okay, when shot goes up, keep your eye on number 0, Dexter Dennis. When he goes to the offensive glass, he's really good. As Jamarius Burton knocks down the deuce off the right hand.
Hung out there as Burton scored.
Whoa.
More denied by McDuffie.
McDuffie came a long way from help side position to deny that shot.
At the other end, a very difficult shot. McDuffie is fouled.
You should never watch on the ball. You should always watch off the ball as Jamarius Burton finishes that play. And on the opposite end, that's a senior who understands defensive positioning in Marcus McDuffie.
You saying that I should never watch on the ball?
Well, you're a play-by-play guy, so you kind of have to. But if you really want to learn the game as a fan, watch off the ball. That's where stuff's happening.
Hey, you know where stuff's happening?
Where?
The New York Life ACC tournament,
Really?
Charlotte, North Carolina. Florida State's going to the final. Virginia, the presumptive #1 overall seed heading into today. Jill Lenardi, perhaps. Cavaliers drop the semifinal game to the Seminoles. They'll get Duke or North Carolina. That game's happening on ESPN. All part of Champ Week presented by Principal.
Tar Heels, I understand, are up 7 right now.
That's right. With a healthy Zion Williamson playing for Duke. McDuffie 2 for 2. Wichita State has its first lead tonight. Rod Brown just replaced him. Rod Brown is coming off maybe the finest night of his Wichita State career. Only 2 points, but 9 rebounds in 9 minutes off the Shocker bench.
Energy and defense from number 5, Rod Brown, for the Shockers of Wichita State.
Wichita State needs to win this game. They need to win the American tournament to get back to the NCAA tournament for the 8th straight year. Alston. Rebound, Samaje Haynes-Jones.
Suddenly the FedEx Forum kind of sounds like a mini roundhouse.
Haynes-Jones, long. Midtgaard in there for the rebound, won by Aflakpui, his 8th already. Quentin Rose, just a 28% three-point shooter. Cleaned up Pierre-Louis, had a chance for 3.
Nate Pierre-Louis, a really good rebounding guard, almost 6 rebounds a game. What does he bring? We talked about shizzle. He brings sizzle. At 6'4", strong enough to go up and make plays. Very athletic, an exciting player for Temple at 6'4", sophomore. Nate Pierre-Louis, that's good stuff.
You said last night you're going to figure out a way to incorporate Quentin Rose into the shizzle and sizzle. No?
No, I gave Quentin Rose he used to have my Bette Midler Award.
Did you call Snoop Dogg?
No.
Well, there's your problem.
I know. Parts of that song I just can't get into.
You got your mind on your money, I understand.
Yeah, there you go.
Pierre-Louis' first points of the game have vaulted Temple back in the lead. Haynes-Jones 3 to shoot. It's Rod Brown for 3.
Good defense by Alston.
And then a foul. 7th foul against Wichita State. Temple will head to the line for a 1-and-1. Jamarius Burton, his first foul, and a fairly reckless one at that. Eric Stevenson's going to get Burton.
So now Samaje Haynes-Jones will go to the point guard position. McDuffie back in the game. Greg Marshall wants to get a little bit more offensive flow.
How much does Wichita State change offensively when Haynes-Jones runs the point?
Well, Burton is more of a distributor. Haynes-Jones is more of a scoring point guard. And so defensively, you've got to be aware of that. Haynes-Jones is a guy that's slippery in the paint, can get by you and make plays. And he's also a guy you got to respect from the three-point line, although the numbers don't always show it. He makes and takes big shots, big times.
Meanwhile, Ernest Aflakpui is a point and a rebound shy of a double-double in the first 15 minutes, 2 seconds of the game. 57.4% free throw shooter, hits both. He's been Temple's best player so far.
He has been. Tremendous energy. Once again, the clock didn't start.
You think I was kidding about soccer dad with the stopwatch?
Yeah.
We're almost there.
I mean, this is an NBA arena. It just shouldn't happen. But it is. So you got to deal with it. Credit the officials for watching. I've been watching it too.
A second came off, and now the clock starts again. Again, you hope this gets cleared up. This is a close game down the stretch.
It could be a nightmare. I've seen it in play in the MAC championship game several years ago between Miami and Akron. When Miami, if Doug Pennell knocked down a shot at the buzzer, man, it was like a 15-minute delay to try to figure out what was next.
Stevenson to Midgard. Midgard stuffed by Aflakpui.
Holy Toledo.
Defense leads to offense. Alston Jr. with a three.
Well, you talk about a guy playing his role. Ernest Aflakpui is playing his role perfectly for Temple.
Tough shot, McDuffie. Rebound grabbed by Rose.
Ernest Aflakpui has made a career out of being the other guy. Tonight, he's the guy for the Temple Owls.
Sets the screen. Alston misses the three. Rebound Dexter Dennis. Wichita State just 2 of its last 13 from the field. Haynes Jones lost the dribble. Stevenson picks it up.
Yeah, sometimes Samaje Haynes Jones over dribbles the basketball from the point guard position. Then everybody stands around and they get stale. And we're starting to see that a little bit right now.
Some of these shots, Rod Brown taking a three, Midgard taking a jumper. These are not plans A or B for Greg Marshall.
And Marcus McDuffie hasn't touched the ball the last couple possessions.
8-0 run for the Temple Owls after trailing for the first time. That did not last long. Mormon.
I get McDuffie involved on this possession. You got to give him a touch. Your stale offensively, give it to your best offensive player.
He only has 4 shots. And Haynes Jones fouled, sending us to the under 4 immediate timeout. What a sequence this was for Temple. For Temple, that means the A-10 will have 2 bids this year. VCU seen as a safe team. A whole bunch of bubble teams, though. Alabama, Ohio State, Xavier lost. Buffalo came back to beat Central Michigan. That keeps alive potential for only 1 bid out of the MAC. So some good, some bad for Temple. Bottom line, you want to make the tournament Owls, beat Wichita State. Haynes Jones in the miss. There's McDuffie. You wanted to get him a touch. Probably not in that way, but it works all the same, and he has 10.
Sometimes you got to get your own touch. You know, Kenneth Freed, who led the country in rebounding for Morehead State, when he's a grade school kid, they wouldn't pass him the ball. His mom said, well, then go get the ball yourself. Sometimes you just got to do that.
Hamilton foul. That's good life advice. Sometimes you just got to get your own touch.
Also, Freed was from New Jersey, just like that young man, Marcus McDuffie.
Poor Chandler with a foul. Isaiah Chandler has just checked in. Marcus McDuffie, a New Jersey kid from a legendary New Jersey school. St. Anthony's under the great Bob Hurley. And he watches on as Justin Hamilton hits the first free throw.
You know, I talked to Dan Hurley about what it's like. There's a media horde at UConn. I mean, there's just a spotlight on that program. And I asked him, what's it like dealing with that? He goes, Mark, I've dealt with being the son of Bob Hurley, the Hall of Fame coach, and Bobby Hurley being arguably the best point guard ever in NCAA basketball. You think I'm worried about the media? Pretty good answer.
What do you think Marcus learned from his time at St. Anthony and Coach Hurley?
I'll tell you, he learned how to overcome adversity, and that's what he's done in his career. It was an injury-filled season last year. He only averaged 8 points a game. He's one of the most improved players in the country by numbers from last year to this year as Marcus McDuffie knocks it down, averaging over 18 points a game, right on cue.
He is shooting himself out of a long shooting funk tonight. 3 for 4 from 3. Team high 13. Stevenson on the floor, and the takeaway to Dennis.
Nice spread the floor.
Isaiah Chandler. Wild shot fouled by Hamilton, his second.
Greg Marshall just put his hands in his face when he looked at that shot from Isaiah Chandler. That might be the worst 1-on-0 open layup shot I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he's wide open. You just power it up strong.
Boy.
I mean, you don't go Michael Jordan
That's
on that
tough
play.
to watch.
You power it up.
All right, he gets the free throws.
Dude's name is Poor Bear. Bears don't attack the rim like that. Bears devour rims.
That was a rather grisly attempt by Poor Bear.
He hits two. That's a reverse ball don't lie situation. Ball does lie.
Gotta have fun. Well, Temple's got nothing going on. Now they do.
Rose, that pass took forever to get to him. He missed the three. Another rebound for Dennis, who has 5 rebounds. Remember, this is with Haynes Jones in the game. Burton's been on the bench for a while. McDuffie. Rebound to Mormon.
Good job by Quentin Rose not giving up on that play, getting right into McDuffie's shooting grill.
You try to go 2 for 1 here?
Absolutely. I always look for that. And Shiz Austin is a good guy to run it through, but he's got to attack. He's getting deflected. He's going too much east and west. I'd like to see him attack more north and south.
They're not going to get the 2 for 1. Better get a good one here. Alston, left-handed. Poor Bear Chandler up ahead to McDuffie, and a collision with Mormon. That is a foul. J.P. Mormon's second. It was not a great pass by Poor Bear Chandler, but it worked out in a sense because Mormon picks up foul number 2, and McDuffie will go to the line. This is a 1-and-1.
And the great thing about having Shiz Austin Jr. is that he can make a play at any time, at any point in the shot clock. But sometimes when you over-dribble the ball, you get standing around a lot. I feel like Temple's really standing around a lot right now.
Neither team had yet called a timeout.
Having Ohio State go down as well.
Xavier as well, and then Buffalo beating Central Michigan. That means the Bulls advance to the final. If they win, the MAC will only get one team.
What a season Nate Oates has had.
Just signed an extension yesterday, and deservedly so.
C.J. Massenberg, he went for 40-some-odd points in the win early on against West Virginia on the road. And all of a sudden you wake up and you say, you know what, those guys are pretty good. Now, West Virginia has shown that they're not as good as what we
until the last week.
Until the last week.
Until Zombie Huggins.
Yeah, until Huggins comes out of the casket.
Wichita State has the lead. It has not led much of this half. Midgard replaces Poor Bear Chandler. Temple has not hit a field goal in the last 4:03.
So all eyes will be on Shiz Austin Jr., number 10 with the basketball. But I want you to watch number 24 when the shot goes up, Ernest Aflakpui. He'll probably be a guy that will set a screen and then roll to the hoop. Look for him on the offensive glass. Here he comes.
Alston with 2, got it up, got it at the horn. Greg Marshall is going to have nightmares about Shiz Austin. He had returned from a knee injury. He had combined for 7 points and 7 rebounds in 4 games. 10 and 10.5 tonight. Alston and Aflakpui, the 2 seniors, with 28 of the 37 for Temple. Alston gets the first shot. Aflakpui looking for the rebound. He goes tumbling out of bounds. Wichita State ball. By the way, we were told just before the half started that there was an issue with the officials' timing packs. That's why we had some clock malfunctions in the first half. Folks here in the arena were working on that during halftime. Hopefully the clock will not provide any issues for the final 20 minutes. Asbjorn Midgard starts the second half for Wichita State with Haynes Jones, McDuffie, Burton, and Dennis. Midgard played the bulk of the minutes in the first half. Echenike, who started the game on the bench with 2 fouls. And Midgard is fed for McDuffie, missed the layup. Rebound by Mormon.
Well, Midgard has really struggled against the defense of Ernest Aflakpui. Quick jumper Aflakpui has gotten in his head.
Rose with a reach around. Aflakpui gets the rebound. Denied. Dexter Dennis.
Well, Aflakpui, though, again, second possession, he's got his hands on an offensive rebound.
Dennis clanks the three. McDuffie clanks the follow. Third chance. There it is. Marcus McDuffie working hard for his money. He has 17. And Nate Pierre-Louis has to tie his shoe.
Well, it certainly has not been pretty here early in the second half. There's Aflakpui again. He's always around the basketball. Dexter Dennis with the athletic point.
Pierre-Louis. Only 3 points in the first half. Nate Pierre-Louis. He and Rose combined for just 7, yet Temple had the lead. Do they need to be bigger scorers, or are you okay if you're Temple with what Austin and Aflakpui have done?
Well, certainly Nate Pierre-Louis, when he goes double figures, this team becomes multi-talented on the offensive end with Quentin Rose, Nate Pierre-Louis, and Shiz Alston. The most improved player in the American, Nate Pierre-Louis.
And UConn's Josh Carl.
Yep.
Jamarius Burton with his second. Who is your most improved player?
That's a great question. You know, I really thought, I did think that Josh Carlton was. And I watched him, he was non-existent early in the season, and he just kept getting better and better and better. And, you know, Marcus McDuffie could also be a guy that you could say was the most improved player. I mean, he worked through injuries last year, averaged 8 points a game, then 17 this year. He would be another guy that I would say should be the most improved player in this league. There's McDuffie right there.
2 straight possessions with a step back, and Aflakpui was just called for a violation inbounding the ball. Of all the dramatic things.
Well, he's got those lime green shoes, so you can certainly see him. And he apparently stepped in bounds as he was inbounding the basketball. You rarely see that in college basketball.
Rarely see that anywhere in basketball. Called, at least. Dennis fouled. Dexter Dennis will go to the line to try and tie it. Foul against J.P. Mormon, and that's his third. J.P. Mormon's going to check out of this game, it appears. Dre Perry to the scorer's table for Temple.
Perry, an athletic defender.
Dexter Dennis, 64% free throw shooter. All freshman selection. One of the best shooters in conference play. Shot 40% from 3 in conference games. That was 9th in the regular season.
He's a doodler. Pretty good artist. He has notebook after notebook of things that he just likes to just kind of free draw. Interesting kid.
He's ambidextrous, too.
Yeah, he is.
There's your hoop scoop on Dennis.
There you go.
There's Echenike with a steal. Echenike with 2 long steps. McDuffie again to the offensive glass, and Aflakpui rips it away. We have a whistle and a travel. Travel against Aflakpui, who's committed a couple of turnovers to start this second half.
Yeah, as good as things went for Fran Dunphy and Ernest Aflakpui in the first half, Aflakpui now had an unforced error, bringing the ball in bounds, and then that time charged with the walk as he was surrounded by Shocker jerseys.
Haynes Jones from McDuffie. A 3 for a Wichita State lead.
There are some coaches at this point would call a timeout, but when you've got Shiz Alston Jr., you go ahead and play through it. I like the decision.
Oh, Aflakpui could have come down with that, and he commits a foul. That was an easy layup. Aflakpui rushed it, and then he fouled McDuffie for his second foul.
Boy, Ernest Aflakpui has gone from feast to famine right now. A double-double in the first half, and he can't buy a good play right now, early in the second half. When his teammates trying to pick him up, but you don't like the body language right now for Ernest Aflakpui.
Especially not from a senior.
No, you might need to sit him down and kind of perform a little bit of brain surgery on the bench, just pick him back up.
Alani Moore has replaced Quentin Rose for Temple. Moore guards the ball in Burton. Pierre-Louis the rebound.
Is he a good rebounder as a guard? Great nose to the ball, great strength, and a really quick jumper.
Pierre-Louis back from Moore. And Aflakpui, who stays in there, gets the offensive rebound. Aflakpui with his 14th rebound of the game. Dre Perry with the layup. Perry did not score on Saturday. He has his first basket tonight.
He can guard a little bit too. He's on Marcus McDuffie right now.
Haynes Jones. Tough shot. Aflakpui with his 15th rebound.
Well, you're almost happy for Ernest Aflakpui getting a couple rebounds after what he's been through the last couple minutes.
Ties a career high.
Seems to be recovering nicely. See if he can finish this.
He can, and a chance for three. The highs and lows of those 4 minutes for Ernest Aflakpui were extraordinary, and it ends with a Temple lead. On the bubble, right now they're part of the last four in, according to Joe Lunardi, or Wichita State, who needs to win this American championship to return to the NCAA tournament. They've made 7 straight. They'll have to win it all to get there. Aflakpui completes a three-point play. What a night. 13 points, 15 rebounds, of which 8 are offensive. He also has 4 turnovers, had a couple of brutal ones to start the half, but he has responded in the last few possessions.
And brutal point-blank misses as well, but he has recovered, and so has Marcus McDuffie from downtown.
22 for McDuffie, 4 threes. He's got 10 rebounds, 6 offensive, and Wichita State has the lead back. This is the best McDuffie's played in weeks.
Well, they certainly needed to. It's at the right time.
Alani Moore. A lot of ball handling for Alani Moore. Midgard is on the sideline.
So the defensive rule is always drop the level of the ball, and the freshman Jamarius Burton just did it perfectly. He saw penetration, he dropped down, and the clock again. We have another clock issue.
Well, I think Wichita State didn't want the shot clock to reset. Was there possession, was there not? Temple is going to get a fresh 30. Pierre-Louis stopped. Dennis.
Nothing there. That was a force.
McDuffie. Midgard fighting for the rebound, and Midgard was fouled. Ernest
is going to have to step up. Rainier Thornton is going to have to step up. You know, the guy that I really like that brings defensive energy to Memphis, Alex Lomax, who could have been wearing a Wichita State uniform. He signed with Wichita State.
So the play stands as a common foul, but it is still a foul on Aflakpui, his 3rd, and he goes to the bench. Boy, Burton had Midgard for a moment. Justin Hamilton has checked in, replacing Aflakpui. Dexter Dennis, you can't give him that much space, and Alston knew it.
Well, Dexter Dennis just keeps becoming more and more of a focal point, especially in big possessions for Wichita State. He's the next great one in my view. Boy, Chiz Alston's got to work really hard. Shamaja Haynes-Jones is denying him every step of the way. Finally, he gets it.
Alston weaving through traffic and fouled on the ground.
Dexter Dennis, he hit the big shot to beat Tulane. He's shooting the ball with such tremendous confidence now. Every time he lets it go, I feel like it's going in. Tremendous confidence now in Dexter Dennis for Greg Marshall of Wichita State.
Alston fouled off the inbound. Haynes-Jones throws his hands up in frustration.
Yeah, there's only one game plan right now for Wichita State. Deny Shiz Alston the basketball. Whatever you have to do. And You know, when I saw this in real time, I wondered if Shiz Alston kicked his leg out. Let's take a look. He did. That can be called an offensive foul. It wasn't, but it can be called an offensive foul.
Is that to you an offensive foul, or is that just a non-call?
When you kick your leg out like that, I think it's a non-call.
Well, it gets the best free throw shooter in the conference to the line for the first time. Alston at 90.6%. He hits both. He has 20.
I saw the out official walking down. I thought he was going to get together with the baseline official and discuss it. But it's called a foul. Shiz Alston goes to the line, so we'll play on.
Alston takes a breather. Rose replaces him. Alani Moore just knocked that away from Burton, just for fun. In the history of the American Conference Championship, the 6 seeds are 4-1 against the 3 seeds in the quarterfinals. The only 3 seed to win was Houston last year. Can Temple be the second? And can they get a much-needed win to improve life on the bubble? Their tournament hopes very much in peril.
Watch for McDuffie on the backside. It's over the corner.
Free to shoot.
Lots of bad offensive possession.
But it ends with that. McDuffie, another offensive rebound, his 7th. And he has 24.
He's manufacturing points not from his shot, but from his effort. Quentin Rose answers.
Again, not a great three-point shooter, 28%. But he hits a big one. Rose has 9. Haynes Jones. Rebound. Dennis sticks it back.
4 white jerseys surrounded that basketball, but one guy really wanted it. It was Dexter Dennis.
Rose. Haynes Jones was standing in his way. Thought about drawing the charge, it looked like, and then Haynes Jones shuffled to the side, and he picks up the foul.
Watch this rebound. You got all these white jerseys around it, and nobody goes and gets it. So Dexter Dennis says, well, if you're going to let it hit the floor, I'll go get and lay it up.
By the way, that foul on Dennis, not Haynes Jones, beg your pardon. Rose for 2, 68% shooter.
Think about what's happening now for Temple. Because of the denial of Shiz Alston Jr., now they're going to Quentin Rose. They're running the offense through Quentin Rose, and he's stepping up his offensive game. That's why Temple is so hard to guard.
And Rose taking over with Alston getting that breather. He scored the last 5. There's Shiz Alston Jr., who leads the league in minutes played, 37.2 per game. Have to imagine he won't be on the bench for long. Midgard traveled. It was a great effort. It was a travel.
You know what? I disagree with you. I don't understand.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, why can't you go down and grab a basketball? I mean, he's not gaining any unfair advantage. He slid on the floor a little bit. And listen, if it was Temple, I don't care who it is. I don't like that call. I think you should be able to retrieve a loose ball while falling on the floor. And I don't care if you slide 10 feet. I don't think that should be a travel.
I agree, but I think in the rules now it is.
I mean, I get it. I agree with you. I just hate the rule.
Totally fair. Great effort, not rewarded.
Yeah, I mean, dude dives for a loose ball. He slides a little bit, and then he calls travel.
Alston just got it across the timeline with a second to spare there as he returns to the game. Haynes Jones on him. 8 to shoot for Shiz. This has been a one-man possession for the most part. Harry will take a 3 and rattle it home.
Yeah, a little pick and pop action right there. That's where Shiz Alston, he drags the extra defender to him, which means the pick and pop guy's open.
Bad pass, McDuffie to Midgard, couldn't handle it. Stevenson's trying to get a timeout. He does with Wichita State possession. The Shockers take their set.
They can get past Wichita State, would virtually assure them of a bid to the NCAA tournament. A loss then it gets a little bit dicey. I still think they're an NCAA tournament team, and so does Joe Lunardi. But you never know what's going to happen over the next couple days.
Right, they're an NCAA tournament team for now. But who knows what happens in the Mountain West Conference? Who knows what happens in the MAC with Buffalo? Midgard with the thunder.
You better check that backboard. That thing's still swaying. Looks like an earthquake hit this place.
Alston up top. Oh boy, that almost went in. Haynes Jones, by the way, there was a foul against Haynes Jones that was called against Dennis earlier. That's been changed during the break, so Haynes Jones does have 3 fouls. Alston trying to go backdoor to Rose, grabbed by Dennis. McDuffie scored 24 of Wichita State's 56 in the game. He's the only player for the Shockers in double figures.
Midgard's been open when he has really rolled to the basket hard. He's not right there. There he is. There he is.
Stevenson didn't get it to him. Haynes Jones. Rebound to Perry. Right now these teams are even on the boards, 29-29. Temple not a good rebounding team. They are happy to play that statistic to a draw. Alston traveled. Haynes Jones in his grill. 56-56. Be a 2-bid league. Does not look likely, though. You were just in the Wichita State huddle. You talk about Greg Marshall out of timeouts all the time. The plays he draws up. What do you got here?
Watch Eric Stevenson, number 10. He's going to come off a screen as Marcus McDuffie comes up. Here goes a screen right there on the right-hand side, and then they look for Poor Bear Chandler. If it breaks down, then they go into inside out. There it is.
Poor Bear Chandler, who just checked into the game, feeds Dennis. He banks it in with a foul. Dexter Dennis puts Wichita State back into the lead in this seesaw affair.
So you start Eric Stevenson on the left-hand elbow, and then you wheel him off that screen, and tremendous ball action as Dennis is cutting right down the paint when the ball goes low to Poor Bear Chandler. Really well executed, intricate play coming out of the timeout. He's as good as it gets in that situation. Greg Marshall.
And Wichita State is perfect, 11 of 11 from the line. This is a Shocker team that was shooting at 65.6% from the free throw line in the non-conference. They're 10% better. They're better than 75% in conference play. Big reason why they've gone from that 1-6 start against, albeit a very, very difficult conference schedule, to 10-2 in the last 12 games as the competition has eased up.
Sometimes I wonder if Greg Marshall can hypnotize people. I mean, the way this team has changed over the course of time is tremendous, how he exerts his championship will on his teams.
The foul, by the way, was Hamilton's third. He stays in. Second chance on this possession. Perry, wayward pass taken by Poor Bear Chandler.
Well, Temple's really got to dig in right here. Big defensive possession for Temple.
Wichita State's largest lead is 4. Burton fighting for the offensive rebound. He's fouled. Wichita State's had 8 offensive rebounds in the second half, and they'll keep the possession alive here.
Fran Dunphy's going to go bigger, stronger right now. J.P. Mormon's coming in. Ernest Aflakpui is coming in. This is a really good substitution by a guy who understands every game situation because he's been doing it for so long. I like this substitution a lot.
It was Perry's foul. He and Hamilton check out. Aflakpui had a long rest on the bench of 5 minutes or so with 3 fouls. This is now the starting 5 for Temple. This is do or die time. Fran Dunphy's gone to his starters. The last year of his head coaching tenure at Temple. Dexter Dennis gives Wichita State its largest lead.
But Temple has that guy, Shiz Alston Jr.
And that guy is fouled. Jamarius Burton, his 3rd foul. Burton, Haynes, Jones, and Echenike all have 3 for Wichita State. Mormon and Aflakpui along with Hamilton have 3 for Temple.
Samaja Haynes-Jones out of the game. I think Shiz Alston believes he can beat Jamarius Burton. That time forces the shot.
Dennis with his 7th rebound to go with 14 points. One of the freshman's best nights of his first Shocker year. 7 in a row for Wichita State, fighting for its life. McDuffie fouled on a 3. He'll go to the line. That's the 3rd time in 2 nights McDuffie has been fouled shooting a 3.
The one thing we know about Marcus McDuffie, he's always going to be shot ready. A little bit of contact on his hand on the release. But if you're Temple, no reason to panic. And whenever you have Shiz Alston Jr., plenty of time in this game, down 5 right now, make it 6. Shiz Alston Jr. has been in this situation before. Remember, Wichita State had a 13-point lead at halftime against Temple in the Roundhouse. And Temple stormed back and won that game in overtime.
Temple has come back to win 9 times this year from 8-point deficits. Their largest was that Wichita State game where they trailed by 15. Yes. They have been the comeback kids of the American. They're going to have to do it again.
Yeah, it's not over until Hooter the Owl says it's over.
First meeting January 6th. Temple scored the final 11 points of regulation. Wichita State turned it over 21 times in that game. Alston hit some big shots late. McDuffie goes 2 for 3. Largest lead for Wichita State is 7. Winner gets Cincinnati tomorrow in the semis. Pierre-Louis foul. Dexter Dennis, now he picks up his first.
Then you talked about Jamarius Burton being a bully guard. Nate Pierre-Louis got a little bully in him too. He can really lower his shoulder. He plays low to the ground as a way of getting to the free throw line.
68% free throw shooter, misses the first.
He made the go-ahead layup to go up 78-76 with 2:39 left in overtime versus the Shockers in Wichita.
Well, he just missed 2. Keeps the lead at 7. And then he tries to take it away from Burton and is called for a foul. Both teams are in the bonus. Burton will go to the line for a 1-and-1 on Pierre-Louis' second foul. Oh, no, that was on J.P. Mormon, actually, away from the ball. I'm sorry. So that will send McDuffie to the line. That's about the worst thing you could do for Temple. And Mormon picks up his 4th. 1-and-1 for McDuffie. 5th best free throw shooter in the American.
Well, I've watched Marcus McDuffie mature over the years. Last year during the injury season, he basically withdrew. It was hard to get him to talk to you, to acknowledge you. And this year he realized that he had to come out of that shell. He had to lead this young team. He had to help them understand the hard lessons of losses and truly be the leader of this Wichita State team, like others had done before him. And he really has risen to the occasion. I've seen tremendous maturity from Marcus McDuffie through his career at Wichita State.
4 points shy of a career high on what could be his final career game. And he'll get a huge ovation. Rod Brown is in at least until the under 8 timeout. Maybe that's all.
Well, Fran Dunphy says about Shiz Alston, I trust him. Here's where you've got to trust your best player to make a great play. Well, Temple seems hesitant to shoot.
Pierre-Louis tries to bully his way in, and he's fouled, hit in the head. 11 straight for the Shockers, fighting for their lives. Coach Cal, Huggy Bear, Fran Dunphy, 200 wins at 2 schools. That's it. Legendary head coach. Can his team keep his NCAA tournament hopes alive tonight?
And you know, it's a great graphic with the numbers, but Fran Dunphy doesn't care about the numbers. My favorite Fran Dunphy quote, so many people say, make things happen. Life is about what happens and then what you do to make it better. That's Fran Dunphy. I asked Shiz Alston about his coach, and he said he's more of a life coach, a teacher, than a basketball coach. That's Fran Dunphy. His legacy, great numbers, don't get me wrong, but his legacy is about people, not the numbers.
Coach and teacher both at Temple. Got a heck of an assignment now. Down 8, 7 and change to go. Haynes Jones. Dennis in there, tied up with Aflakpui. Possession arrow stays with Wichita State. Dexter Dennis, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Wichita State has 15 offensive rebounds now in the game.
The emergence of Dexter Dennis is the reason why this team has won 10 out of their last 12 games. They were predictable with only 2 guys that could score. But Dexter Dennis getting it done.
That's his 9th rebound.
Yeah,
that's an offensive foul. Eric Stevenson.
Yeah, you can't hand off out of control and just run into a guy. And that's really what Stevenson just did. That's no legal screen. That's a good call. It's the right call.
You can do that. You just get called.
Yeah, you call for it. Yeah.
Second against Stevenson. Temple will be in the double bonus now the rest of the game. Rose over Corbett Chandler. Tough shot. Quentin Rose starting to heat up. He has 13. Look at Pierre-Louis all over Haynes Jones, who does keep possession.
Well, that kid has a great motor, Nate Pierre-Louis. I love the way he competes.
Stevenson's got Aflakpui switched onto him, gives it to McDuffie. McDuffie, step back. Rebound, Pierre-Louis. Whoa, wild pass. Look out, Mark.
There you go. You're welcome.
Good hands.
And they're really looking to get it up floor to Quentin Rose. Little pinball action came right to me.
Look at OJ trying to play some self-defense there. What was that?
Whoa.
What is going on here? What in the world was that?
We saw this in the first game as well. When that ball bounces and you let it bounce, it just goes right over his fingertips. You can't retrieve it. Well, let's see if Wichita State can take advantage. Now they turn it over.
Throw it down, Quentin, one time. 4-point game. Let's pretend those last 2 minutes never happened, shall we?
Back-to-back awful inbounds passes. And it works out for Temple.
Cut a 9-point lead to 4. Haynes Jones. McDuffie. And he got it to go. Aflakpui maybe not wanting to pick up his 4th foul there. And McDuffie has 32 shy of a career high.
We're going down the stretch on this one. Strap yourself in.
Austin hasn't scored in a while.
Samaje Haynes-Jones, look how he's getting out, deny him, making sure Alston catch it deep.
Alston misses a 3. Pierre-Louis is there. Maintains the offensive rebound for Temple. Mormon at 3. No. Aflakpui kept the pivot foot down. A 3rd chance on this possession for Temple.
Watch for Quentin Rose. Keep an eye on him.
Alston getting around midguard. Crazy shot. Aflakpui, a little undercut by Haynes Jones. No foul.
Well, Shiz Alston is chewing out the official and just got a technical foul.
Wow.
I saw it coming up the floor. Shiz Alston lost his composure. He was barking at the official, and the official called the technical foul. He got frustrated, forced a shot, felt that there was contact, and there he is, and the official can't ignore it. I mean, it's right next to his right ear, basically, about 10 feet away. And Shiz knows he messed up. Aaron McKee now counseling him.
Class A technical foul on Temple number 10.
That's the man who will take over for Fran Dunphy next year. Alston walked himself right to the bench. This is an obvious statement, but Temple simply cannot afford to have Alston out of this game. Just his first foul. Sends McDuffie to the line for 2.
Well, my guess is part of the Temple philosophy is if you get a technical foul, you're going to sit down for a while. Because he went right to the bench. There was no discussion. Fran Dunphy didn't say anything. Just Alston went right to the bench.
McDuffie has now tied his career high, and he is 21 of 23 at the line in this championship. Now, I understand the Temple philosophy, but how malleable is that philosophy when your NCAA tournament bid is on the line and 4:58 to go?
I'm not saying he's not going to come in, but you know what? He made a mistake. He needs to pay for it, and he is. And now he's got to come back better with a short memory.
Lonnie Moore replaced him. Wichita State can take its first double-digit lead of the night. Burton trying to bully his way in. Rose with a pickpocket. One of the steals leaders in the nation, Quentin Rose. Rose with those long legs got to the rim. Dennis got the rebound and Moore knocked it out of his hands. What a play by Lonnie Moore.
Who has point-blank range for Quentin Rose.
Pierre-Louis attacks. He gets fouled. Dennis from one end, Midgard from the other. It's Dexter Dennis, his second foul.
Well, a quality defensive and offensive response from Temple. Your best player gets a technical foul. Quentin Rose comes down, gets point-blank range, doesn't get it down, and then Nate Pierre-Louis goes right to the rim aggressively to draw contact.
Pierre-Louis just 2 for 5 at the foul line tonight. Winner of this game plays Cincinnati in the semifinals tomorrow. Houston and Memphis in the other semi. You have these teams this portion of the year that are called quote-unquote bid thieves, teams that could not make the tournament unless they're an automatic qualifier. Memphis is one of those. Wichita State another if they make it to the semis. Haynes-Jones with a wraparound. Midgard throws it down.
Yeah, Temple went high risk, high reward. It turned into more risk than reward. The reward went to the Wichita State Shockers and Asbjorn Midgard.
The man whose name translates to God's bear. Aflakpui posting Midgard. Aflakpui schools him. Timeout Temple.
Fran Dunphy for sitting his best player for that segment. There's so many jokers in coaching right now that are not abiding by the rules. Fran Dunphy doesn't care about game situation. He cares about the program and the young men. And there's the turnover, and now Temple gets another chance. That's coaching.
Well, Greg Marshall can only smile, meanwhile, after Dennis airmails the pass toward the Wichita State bench.
Let's see how Shiz Alston responds now. Remember that quote about adversity? So many people make things happen. Life is about what happens after what happens to you to make it better.
J.P. Moorman with a three. It's a three-point game. Moorman had 1 point in the game before that shot. He's on the floor with 4 fouls. And he gets Temple within a possession.
It's out of a timeout. Greg Marshall's about 5 for 5 on plays out of timeouts.
Oh, McDuffie, it nearly went down. He got fouled. He will shoot 2. Shiz Alston with his second foul. McDuffie has 56 points in the 2 games against Temple this year. 17 of 19 free throws. He makes this one, he'll have a career-high 33. And he does. After Oregon, Arizona State and the Pac-12 semis tonight, John Buccigross, Zubin Mehenti have Sports Center. Break down Duke UNC3 in the ACC Championship, the latest on the playoff race out west in the NBA. And Andy North previews moving day. Fleetwood, Poulter, Rory, all in contention. Some big names of the Players' Championship. Sports Center, 1:30 a.m. Eastern, 12:30 Central. ESPN streaming live on the ESPN app. Pierre Louis rattles it out. Rebound to Midtguard with a 5-point Wichita State lead.
Big rebound, huge possession for Wichita State. Who do you run it through? Marcus McDuffie has had the hot hand.
Haynes Jones, 5 to shoot. Haynes Jones. Aflakpui, good position for his 17th rebound, and then Temple throws it away. An unforced error, the Owls' 15th turnover.
But why Marcus McDuffie was reading eyes, running down the floor. He was very aware of the situation. Good read by the senior.
McDuffie, backdoor from Midtguard. Aflakpui has another rebound, and Aflakpui is fouled. He will shoot 2.
Well, these
Burton's 4th. Sorry, Mark.
These Temple Wichita State games are always wild. I mean, they're always wild.
Here comes Echenike along with Stevenson. Greg Marshall's going to bring in 2 players off the bench with 2:15 to go. Aflakpui, 15 points, 18 rebounds, 3 of 3 at the line. A magical night for him in a lot of ways. Won't feel like it if Temple can't pull this off, of course. And the senior hits the first.
Well, that was cool, calm, and collected by Ernest Aflakpui, who simply dominated this game in the first half. Had a double-double in the first half alone.
Career high in rebounds. 5 points shy of a career high. The senior out of Ghana, 3-year starter, captain, slowed by a knee injury of late. Goes 1 for 2, 4-point lead for Wichita State. Stevenson off the dribble.
He is in a bad spot, too. Dribble down the corner, pick up your dribble. That is not where you want to be.
That was about a second away from the Shocker timeout. It's Dennis. Leans in. Rebound won by Dennis. Rose tries to strip him of the ball. Foul called against Wichita State. Wow, what effort. Particularly by Quentin Rose, who will shoot 2.
Well, this is a who wants the basketball situation. The ball gets bounced around, and Quentin Rose just stays with it, stays with it, stays with it, and then basically Dexter Dennis says, well, I'll just grab your leg. Great effort by Quentin Rose.
Dennis's 3rd foul. Haynes Jones has 3, Echenike 3, Burton 4. 2 shots for Rose. Boy, there's some hearts and throats, Mark, not only on North Broad Street right now, but in Columbus, Ohio, and Tuscaloosa, Alabama, all across the country, and Jamaica, Queens. Bubble teams galore, wondering what will happen to the very bubblish Temple Owls, trying to solidify their position.
For Wichita State, it's an opportunity to keep their streak alive of 7 consecutive NCAA tournament berths. And for Temple, it's an opportunity to get off the bubble and get the bid.
Pierre Louis fighting with Haynes Jones, and Wichita State got the timeout. Haynes Jones just dropped to his knees.
Samaje Haynes Jones with dribble penetration. I think he'll go right.
Haynes Jones only 2 for 12 in the game, but not afraid to take the big shot. McDuffie with 34 of the Shockers' 73. Season on the line for Wichita State. 7 to shoot. Haynes Jones elevates and scores.
Started right, went left. That's his MO late game.
Alston hadn't scored in a while. He pulls up. Missed the three. Rebound McDuffie, under a minute to go. You foul or played out?
I foul here.
Haynes-Jones loose with the ball. Wichita State a little bit all over the place. Dennis attacks, and he's fouled. It's a blocking foul. Dexter Dennis will shoot two with 40.8 seconds to go. Aflakpui called for his fourth foul.
Well, Aflakpui's got his foot inside the restricted area. We're talking about one of the greatest charges in the history of Temple, as Aflakpui took that charge against Houston earlier this year, and then just what we talked about. Set the screen, go right, come back left. That's his MO in late game situation. He's really good at it.
Dexter Dennis, 64% free throw shooter. 4 for 4 at the line tonight. 13 of his 15 in the second half. Wichita State has missed one free throw in the game. 21 of 22 at the line. Brilliant. 6-point game. Temple's got to hurry. Pierre-Louis fouled. He could not finish. He will get two.
Well, what a smart play by Nate Pierre-Louis. Instead of giving the ball up, just a straight line drive, north to south, right to the rim. It saves time. It gets him to the line. That is the perfect play by Nate Pierre-Louis.
Well, it's perfect that he hit these free throws. Foul is Echenique's fourth. Pierre-Louis gets the first. Temple does have 2 timeouts remaining. Fran Dunphy in his final season. An NCAA tournament berth very much hanging in the balance.
And the number 14 steal team in the country now will be all over Wichita State. They average nearly 9 steals per game. They need one right now.
Pierre-Louis hits 2, still a 2-possession game. Stevenson to inbound. He can run. He throws it long. Dexter Dennis. Again, Pierre-Louis attacks, no foul this time. Alston back for Mormon. Missed the 3. Rebound, Stevenson. Shot clock turned off. That's a backcourt violation.
Greg Marsh has got to be careful. Rose, and you've got Shiz Alston. Watch for Alston to inbound and then follow his pass into his 3-point shot.
Pierre-Louis. Gotta hurry. Pierre-Louis gonna drive it. Wow. Dennis tips it to himself. No foul. It would have only made it a 4-point game. Would have still been a 2-possession game. The foul called against Temple, and it's all but over. J.P. Mormon has just fouled out. Joe Lunardi says Temple will stay in the field for now with a loss. They will remain in the last 4 in. We don't know where they will move to. Right now they're the 4th to last team in Joe's projected bracket. A loss here, and Temple is at the mercy of the MAC, at the mercy of the Mountain West, at the mercy of some other bubble teams who are still playing. And all Fran Dunphy's team can do is sit and wait till Selection Sunday.
Well, remember, Temple 8-5 on the road. Of the top 7 metric conferences in the country, only Wisconsin has played 13 true road games and won 8 of them, along with Temple. That's something you can put on your resume, and it stands out versus everybody else who's on the bubble. What an effort by Wichita State.
Wow.
Greg Marshall has done a tremendous coaching job with this team this year. Might be his best job.
Again, look, Wichita State played 7 quadrant 1 or quadrant 2 games to start the conference season. Their final 11 games were the easiest in the league at that point. They played ECU twice, Tulane twice, SMU and Tulsa were in the middle of the league. You understand all that. That being said, if you watch Wichita State closely, there's just no question they've improved. The schedule has obviously helped a big deal, but they've also significantly improved in a lot of areas. This is not a game Wichita State would have won. In fact, we saw it. They blew that lead to Temple early in the conference season.
And
Different
lost
team
that
now.
game in overtime. They have been a different team. They've been a better team.
The Wichita State Shockers, however improbably, are headed to the American semifinals.